That is a huge scam. Justice Saldana is with me in the studio, former High Court judge. Thank you very much. Ajit Doval, former Director, Intelligence Bureau, and also with us is Jairav Sivan, Senior Assistant Editor with the Times of India. The Times of India first broke that news report, and that's a great story, Jairaj, that you've broken. Let me first ask you, Justice Saldana.
Thank you, Arna.
Should a judge, serving judge, accept these kind of massively discounted plots? Doesn't that completely compromise them, given the decisions they'll have to take?
Absolutely right, Arnab. I can only define it as saying that it's totally wrong. Not only is it wrong, this is a corrupt practice.
So what, our worry is that many of these scams, after the media reports it, the judge will say, okay, I'll give up to avoid the embarrassment of, say, Times Now reporting this on a daily basis, say, I'll give up the plot. Is that enough? You have 2 or 3 serving judges of this Madras High Court who've taken this from the state government.
It's certainly not enough. It happened in Karnataka the other day after the Times Now exposed the scam relating to the relations of the Chief Minister. The statement made is that we will return the property.
They did so.
That's no defense, because the offense is complete. And in my humble opinion, I'd like to see a situation in this country, as happens in other parts of the world, where these people are punished. Not only the people who do not only the recipients, but more importantly, the people who do the allotments.
But they are not taking if they say, I'm just saying devil's advocate, that we have not taken these plots and land in our own name, say, for example. If a judge says, my wife has got it, my wife is a social worker, or she's got it under some eminent person quota, or some other quota is created, is that a defense?
It isn't a defense for the simple reason that these are all Benami transactions.
Ah, that's true.
If you scrutinize them, the discretionary quota is meant, Arnab, for very deserving people. They're physically handicapped persons. There are certain categories and there are certain norms. Not one of them falls into this category.
So, with all respect, I feel that when I looked at this quota of discretionary quota, it's defined so loosely. It also said journalists, people of eminence, public servants, income tax of everybody is included under possible recipients. So the government has actually created this discretionary quota almost to give away as largesse or patronage to people who are loyal to them. That's the sense I get. I don't know if you agree with me on that. These definitions must change.
I agree with you. It's very necessary to tighten up the norms. But irrespective of that, what about the ethics involved on the part of the person who is the recipient?
Completely. On that, I would like to go to Mr. Doval. Mr. Doval, you have headed the Intelligence Bureau in the country. Should an intelligence, Inspector General of Police not flinch before taking a discretionary quota? What do you think the IG intelligence should face? What action should he face for taking this largesse from the DMK government?
I think the question is that what is the relationship between the local intelligence chief and the political leadership there? What are they providing each other to, for which this is the service in return? That is the bigger malady. After all, if the political leadership is using the intelligence for some purposes, that is somewhere where the real problem lies. And of course, I think the action should be taken because firstly, they select the man for political convenience and the people who can deliver political support to them. Secondly, they make them do the things which probably are not in the best interest of the country and the state and the polity, constitution and law of this country. And thirdly, if these people are further benefited and they get scot-free, I think this is setting a trend in the entire professional services which are cutting at the fundamentals, the basic purpose for which they were created. It is just disgusting and disgraceful.
Now, can I share the most greatest absurdity of it? It enrages you. The absurdity is that this man, who's the Intelligence Inspector General, was allotted this property, this plot, under the category of unblemished government servant. How can somebody take this under the unblemished government servant property? That blemishes him for life, doesn't it?
The whole thing is this, that these days, they are first making the laws and the rules, not the laws, the rules and the procedures, which are designed, they are architected to benefit some particular person, and they are totally arbitrary. After all, what is the criteria and what is the commission or what is the body that is really examining who are the people who have got total unblemished record. Was he the only applicant? Was he the only person under consideration? The decision is taken first and the rule is made later. I think, as Justice Saldana has very rightly said, that there should be the minimum categories, they should be transparent, and then it should be the free for people who claim to fall in that category, and let there be a system from which the selection is made. And this is no category, unblemished record. If others have the blemished record, why are they in service? Why the action has not been taken against them? If I concede the point that this officer has got an unblemished record, by implication it means that there are many others whose records are very shady, and they continue to have the same positions in the state. What action has been taken against them?
No, I want to add one more absurdity as I go to Jairaj, who's really broken a fantastic story there in the Times of India. One of the absurdities, I am told, Jairaj can confirm, is that there is one former district collector who issued himself a certificate for unblemished government service and then got a plot. Where is the government, Jairaj? Is this true?
It's 100% true. This person was Tirunelveli district collector. His name is G. Prakash.
Incredible.
And right now he's a joint secretary of the Industries Department in Chennai. He's based out of Chennai right now. This person gave a certificate to himself saying that he is an official with an unblemished track record. And with that certificate, this person managed to get a plot which was worth 2 crore rupees at that point of time. That's in 2008, it was worth 2 crore rupees in the heart of Chennai, in Thiruvanmiyur.
My God.
And he got it for a paltry sum of around 76 lakh rupees. And right now the property is worth around 3 crore. And the official now says he doesn't even remember of having given that a certificate to himself. He says, is that my signature? Have I returned that? He's asking me such detail.
But Jairaj,
yeah.
when we broke the Kargil for profit scam, it became a national story. There was pressure put because you had a chief minister who's the beneficiary or whose in-laws were the beneficiary of these flats. In this case, what happens to the government, the chief minister? Who's going to adjudicate? You don't have a Sonia Gandhi sitting in Delhi who will put a diktat. Who is going to adjudicate here if the Karunanidhi government has done this?
See, the beneficiaries here are very many. People in the judiciary have benefited. People in the, legislators have benefited both in Congress and in DMK. And many of them had plots earlier or had houses earlier in urban centers at the time of their getting this allotment. So who will
bell the cat?
Who will bell the cat?
Yeah, who is going to bell the cat?
People in DMK themselves have benefited.
Who is going to bell the cat here? Justice Saldana, this needs to start because if jurisdiction is kept to Chennai, nothing may ever happen in this story. There may be a cover-up. You may have a media expose, but nothing will happen. Who can intervene suo motu?
Well, Arnab, there is a simple solution. You can get a central prosecuting agency to do it.
Central prosecuting, as in you are saying the law minister intervenes? So at what level?
The CBI, for instance. The CBI is not a state unit.
Okay.
And the central agency can do it. The Prevention of Corruption Act can be applied in those of the cases where required. But I would like to see an example being made. But having said that, I'd also like to see a situation whereby the courts convict these people.
Which courts? Do you think the highest court in the country, the Supreme Court, Chief Justice, somebody can intervene here?
It's got to start with the trial courts. First of all, it's very necessary. I think in situations like this, the Constitution does give the higher courts the power. The courts can direct action.
Okay, now we are told that the IG police here, as SMS does saying, is going to reply tomorrow. Well, an explanation is certainly in order. And an explanation does not need to be technical. It needs to be on an issue of propriety, right? Mr. Doval, would you expect an explanation where the police officer says, I was under the quota, I was entitled, etc., etc., there's nothing technically wrong I have done. Would you accept that?
I will not accept that. But then, the point is this, that how will you proceed there? Your basic question is very fundamental. Now, the first thing is about the legality of it. It is quite possible that the rules and the procedures have been followed and they are legally made. That is, the man who framed the rules was empowered to make the rules, and the person who was the beneficiary, he was covered by that. Now, the discretion has been used in a very absurd way, as you put the word. Now, there is no punishment for absurdity, and the malafidis cannot be this thing unless there is a very high moral fiber, and people say that there is a conflict of interest. This officer himself should have had the moral stature or a moral responsibility to say that no, even if it's offered to me, I'll resign or I'll go out of this post, otherwise I won't accept that. Now that cannot be judiciated. The second point is about the central authority taking it. Central Bureau of Investigation cannot take a suo motu notice of this case because they are not central government employees. Now in this case, either a court can refer the matter or the state government can request the central government that the investigation of these cases may be entrusted to the CBI. State government will not do that.
No, I think everyone.
Unless the case goes in the court.
No, I think everyone. I'm just
so you know, you are. It's going to be quite difficult actually to proceed, and whatever explanation.
But you can't have.
If he has got the support of the state government.
Yeah, but you can't have one precedent set in Mumbai for Adarshgate and one precedent in Chennai. There has to be uniformity at the end of the day, and as Justice Saldana and both of you have rightly mentioned, it's about propriety. Let's not get technical replies. We'll follow this story. Justice Saldana, Ajit Doval, Jairaj for a good story. Well done. Thank you very much for joining me on the News Hour. We'll follow that story, and we'll certainly follow also the story of what has appeared to be India's biggest food scam. Let's see if the politicians follow up also on the action they've promised on the show tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. It's a pleasure bringing the News Hour to you every night. Good night. Good night.